required to improve the coverage of official statistics, particularly from administrative sources, such as ministries and departments of government, and also health, education, police, immigration, violence, are two examples, and to ensure that the statistics collected from these sources are measured accurately and conform to the relevant methodological standards. Some elements of regional coordination. This is a tried and tested approach, right? Activities that started, we would say, with census taking. The approach attempts to utilize uniform concepts and definitions and a common core of region-specific relevant issues, questions, and policy relevant data. All regional system initiatives are taken to the SCCS, as you mentioned, right? And of course, we receive results and recommendations that go on to the different organs of the community. With respect to the regional approach, we also have collaboration with a number of organizations. I mentioned something like SCCS, but we also receive support for regional projects from many organizations, European Union, IDB, UNSC, UNDP, Paris 21, World Bank, and so forth. Highlights of some current projects. We have a new funded project, Creative Education Support Program, which is seeking to harmonize the intelligence statistical infrastructure, improving statistical programming, and of course training of staff in enabling the use of economic statistics. We have the Inter-American Development Bank UNDP project on common framework for statistics production. Right, and we also have another IB and liquid funded project on strengthening the capacity for the production of harmonized statistics. Right, so some of these persons are here in the audience. We also have an IB project seeking to build a common framework for literacy measurement. In terms of the major initiatives to improve the quality of statistics, we would say that the Regional Statistical Work Program and resolution have been by far some of the most serious efforts that we have undertaken. And in 2005, the Community Council of Ministers of CARICOM approved a 3-year RSWP and passed a resolution calling on governments to invest in statistics as a priority. Right, and this presentation evolved out of a meeting of the Community Council, which was held in the Bahamas on 7th of July 2001, and also from the SCCS deliberations. Other initiatives, in terms of the institutional framework, apart from the RSWP, the objectives, I should mention, is to focus on the statistical needs to establish, monitor, and evaluate the CSME, to make available statistical information for decision making, and to keep pace with the changes socioeconomic and global environment, as well as technological advances that inform the needs for new areas and mechanisms of data collection. Other activities include the identification of a minimum data set and indicators to be encouraged as well as priority activities, adoption of a position on access to microdata, advocacy, and we have been doing this hand in hand with Paris 21, and also we have been looking at model statistics, right? That is that previous slide there. Right, we are also assisting countries in that we're doing a diagnostic assessment. We have also undertaken training with Paris 21, looking at national strategies for development of statistics. And we have an EU project which is following that training, looking at the NSTS preparation, which is trying to get a strategic vision for the statistical offices across the region. A few specific activities. There's the Business Action Plan, strategizing for economic statistics, where all the members of the SCCS came together to formulate this plan. We also looking at strengthening the capacity of economic statistics, developing action plans in a number of areas, including training services, national diplomacy. We also undertaken work through the technical working groups in a number of areas. In addition, at the regional level, we are setting up a help desk facility, which would really provide resources, or links to resources, that is going to help producers of statistics to find the concepts and definitions that they need. In addition, we are looking at the equality framework not to reinvent the wheel, but to have something practical and pragmatic that countries can adhere to in terms of monitoring statistics quality. Also, organization and use of databases, having some common system where we can organize our databases to make them more efficient and to make them more transferable to other parties. Web-based commission infrastructure, and this involves the provision of equipment and software to countries, and that the last two are being funded by the UNDP project. Right. At the moment, we are also looking at statistics production, and that involves in-country support, training workshops, looking at common guidelines, looking at common questionnaire codes, for example, for collecting data on trading services. We had a classification workshop, and you see the funders are there. We also look at the area of trade, of merchandise trade, and there are two segments of that. One, of course, targets trade data processing, whereas the other targets improving the quality of the trade data. So we are about to embark on that project. Right, I would go on because most of the things on the slide, which I said, we have had a workshop in social and environmental statistics, the top bullet deals with the trade data processing. And some past projects that we have undertaken include the area of social, gender, and environmental statistics, tourism satellite accounts. We have been doing work in national accounts ever since, trading services in the past, demographic analysis training along with CDB, also this was supported by the UNDP. We have been doing work in terms of the data dissemination with UNICEF, trying to implement the dead info system to disseminate data across the region. Right, so it's a wide range in terms of the work that we've been doing to improve quality. So I'll draw some conclusions from it. I would say that the statistical initiatives to improve statistics at the national level operate at two levels of intervention. So one I would call the institutional aspects, and these would include like the common regional statistics work program, the identification of a minimum data set, targeted development of a strategic approach for statistics, including the NSBS framework, which we are looking at in Paris 21. The work is of advocacy, which is often forgotten, but which is very critical in terms of getting your stakeholders on board, improving updating the statistics apps, and that is the model statistics bill that I mentioned, coordination of statistics at the national level, right? Also the position and access to microdata, and of course having the quality framework for statistics. And then the level of production and dissemination, right? And we include the technical training workshops in a number of areas, the attachment programs, the helpdesk facility, the harmonization of databases, establishing protocols for submission of data, and of course the use of common data submission tools like DEDINFO, of course Redata in terms of UNDP. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. Thank you.